Uri, Dean College of Information Technology, Fujairah University. Dr. Cholo, Director of Ajman University Innovation Center. Dr. Ayman Hamed, Director of Industry Link Technology Transfer from Sultanate Oman. Professor Karman, Dean of Graduate Studies and Research from Ajman University. Welcome everyone, and it is a great pleasure to have all of you with us here. This is our last session. I know people may come, we are starting, and actually we are doing a streaming for the session and doing a video production, because actually we are trying to communicate all of this knowledge for our networks from the region. The main value of having industry academia collaboration initiative is to accelerate the innovation ecosystem in the MENA region, and to accelerate the cooperation between the three parts of the ecosystem. A lot of people speak about the triple helix and the importance of this helix for the region, and now all over the world they started to speak about quadrant helix and how we can also include the citizenship and the people to accelerate the innovation ecosystem. We are now trying to get the industry and encourage them to be part of our innovation ecosystem. And we got many sessions from the industry, and now we are going to speak about the universities. What do you think about universities, and how you can see their role in accelerating this kind of cooperation, and this is important or not for the ecosystem? We can start with Dr. Nasr.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, Engineer Muhammad, for the invitation to be part of this discussion about the role of universities in developing the digital ecosystems in the region and beyond. In fact, the relationship between academia and industry needs to be really looked at in more details in order for us to develop a sort of partnership between universities and industry. I think there must be a kind of a smart partnership between the two entities in order for these institutions to participate in the development of the ecosystems, the innovation ecosystem, and also building a long-lasting relationship between universities and industry in general. The main issue that we need to address here is that we need to talk to each other. At the moment, the academia are totally isolated. They do not interact enough with the industry to know exactly what are the problems, what are the issues that we need to solve. That's why we need to bridge the gap between the academia and industry in terms of, one, the development of programs that can serve the digital economy in the universities. And this requires collaboration between the academic institutions and the industry in order to align the offerings of the universities with the industrial requirements of the region in innovation and industry as well. And this is actually a kind of a complementary role between the universities and the industry. We in the universities, we have researchers, we have facilities, labs, we have students who are talented, and we have so many ideas that we can develop in order to solve the problems and the challenges of innovation in the region. The only thing that we lack is collaboration with industry, and we need to develop that. We need people in the industry who can talk to us, we can sit together, we can actually build the kind of long-term projects. The main problem of the relationship between industry and academia is that we don't have long-term sort of projects. Research cannot give the results overnight. It requires some long-term plans in order for the ideas to be developed, for the technologies to be actually developed in a sort of phases. So we can start with phase one, which is looking at the ideas and the problem that we need to solve in the region. Phase number two would be how do we do that? Phase number three, we have to develop the capacity, the people, as well as the environment in order for us to be able to tackle this issue that faces the region and globally as well. Therefore, this is an issue that really we need to work on together as universities and industry in order to bridge the gap, in order to talk to each other, in order to develop long-term partnerships and plans, in order to actually align the academic programs, the academic offerings, whether at the undergraduate level or at the postgraduate level or our research projects as well. All of these at the moment are not aligned with what is required in the industry. Therefore, we need to talk to people in the industry in order to develop such projects which will serve the interests of both the academia and the industry and will help in solving the problems that we face in the region and develop it for the future as well. The most important aspect of this is developing of the people, which is the most important part. The researchers who can solve such problems. We have very talented students, very highly qualified researchers. The only thing that we need is to sit together with the industrial representatives and try to develop long-term relationships in order for us to work together how we can contribute to the enhancement of the ICT in industry, communication, and technology in the regions, whether of the infrastructure or in terms of the we can develop together. Thank you very much, Engineer Mohammed.
Thank you, Doctor. In the morning, we started the day with a session about the role of industry in accelerating the cooperation between government, industry, academia. And we got speakers from Ericsson, from Intel, from SAS, also from other companies. And they said, actually, after the COVID, the gap start to be very clear for us. We are suffering now from finding the right talent. Cooperation between industry and academia, it could be in many areas. One of these most areas is developing the talent. I consider university is the main place for three types of seeds. They are the seed for the skilled graduates that will work for business and industry. They are the seed for skilled researchers who are going to do a research and be qualified in the area of R&D and develop the new technologies and make publications and make and the third one is the seed for potential startups. So all of these three types of seeds depends on the talent. This is what we need to work on. How we can develop our talented students, make them ready for different type of businesses now. We will ask questions different for the panelists to get different insight in, and also our friends from Sultanate Oman to know also their experience. But I need to know from Fujairah University, what is your plans to develop your graduates in these different type of businesses? For research, what we are doing for them, for market to be qualified enough to compete with others, and also for the entrepreneurship opportunities, what you are thinking in Fujairah University to do for your students in this area.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you very much, Dr. Engineer Muhammad, and thank you, professors and colleagues. To carry on from where Professor Muhammad had, the point he's made about the gap between industry and academia. And in academia here, we're trying to bridge that gap. And that gap is a historical gap going back for centuries, and depending on the state of economy, that gap widens and narrows depending on the need of industry for the output of universities to populate industry. COVID-19, I think, is a coincidence. I believe technology and industry has streamed ahead so fast that now companies and industry in general require focused, technology-driven individuals who are able to fit in industry straight from university. The pressure is on universities trying to be able to create the individual who is suitable for the requirements of the market. Fujairah University, like other universities, I'm sure, is trying to deal with that by redesigning its own programs to be practically driven, having more practical experience, doubling the internship program for our students to be able to interact with industry, getting our students to deal with companies regularly on regular basis. Requirements for graduation will include professional certification qualifications for them to have at least one now or maybe 3 in the future to get qualified by industry before they graduate. All of these are measures that will dampen, if you like, the damage that we have or this gap or this obvious void available in the market between talented graduates who are ready to land running in the industry and be able to deliver quickly. I believe in the future we have to do more than that. We're going to have to convert academic credits into industrial credits, meaning replacing some of our courses by credits earned.
Industry-driven.
Exactly.
Industry-driven courses.
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
And companies will push for that, and eventually we will have.
Actually, we start to see a lot of companies now approaching universities and asking them, you need to readapt your courses and make it more suitable for the market needs. We need to be more dynamics in providing the content which is most related to what is happening nowadays.
Absolutely, and it's not a matter of choice, by the way. I don't believe it's a choice for industry, nor it is a choice for universities. It's a situation that has to be dealt with quickly, and it comes from the rapid rate of development in industry and technology that is creating ferocious,
and
vicious
I think
competition
between Fujairah University are planning for something to attract industry to work with you, inshallah.
For example, we have MOUs with telecommunication companies like Huawei. We have MOUs with universities in the West for research. We have in Germany. We encourage our students to do projects internationally. Again, these are all measures to trying to make the process a little bit acceptable and get our students to get involved more. I think we need to do more than that by redesigning our programs to be totally industrially driven. Yes. And again, there will always be room for the theory research and theory studies as required.
Yes, thank you. Dr. Chulu, as I understand and as I see from Ajman University, you are doing a great job in the area of innovation and entrepreneurship. And as we said before, we are preparing different three types of seats. I think you are focusing on the type of entrepreneurship and innovation. Can you share with us what does Ajman University do to qualify their graduates who are interested to be entrepreneurs? And this is a different approach than the usual academic year, the usual academic activity that can qualify graduates to be a real entrepreneur.
Hi, Mr. Mohammed. I would like to answer, start from explaining what we do, basically.
Yes.
We are very related to entrepreneurship. And we started like 6 years ago with we using a Korean standard model. And then we got help from Korean-driven innovation centers, government-driven innovation centers. And then we have like very close weave network with Latvia, Malaysia, Korea, and Russia. And what we do basically is we incubate our students, like from the scratch, and we having like ideation workshop, and then we usually get like 100 to 150 startup, either from students or external community, and we do like 2 times of idea competition, and we are filtering the good ideas, and then we incubate them through 6 to 8 months. That's a one batch, one cohort. And then we make them a debut to the public. We invite government sectors and private and public sectors, and also angel investors and or Mohammed bin Rashid Innovation Fund or Sheikh Khalifa Fund. So we try to match those people after one batch. So that's what we are doing.
But this is not a regular curriculum for students or a regular course that should be taken to be qualified to graduate.
No, it's got nothing to do with regular course curriculum. It is a whoever is a volunteer basically. Whoever wants to participate, they can participate. Ajman University Innovation Center is work as a social responsibility programs.
Okay.
So we getting funded, not also from the private like external mentors and from the private sector or public sectors. We get money, but usually most of the money is from Ajman University.
Okay. So the Innovation Center in Ajman University is open for all students, and there is no mandatory course to be taken to be qualified as a graduate. There is no need for this.
No, that's the great part of Ajman University Innovation Center. We are not commercial, like many innovation centers in Dubai. And then when you go and ask for help, and they asking, oh, you have to take this course, only 3,000 dirham, and this costs 3,000 dirham, and then you learn skill, and then you forget about how, like your business basically. Okay. No, we don't do that. We just social responsibility, and we're helping.
Yes, Dr. Muhammad want to say something.
Yes, I want to ask something here, because here actually we are representing the 3 angles.
Yeah,
Research,
yes.
academia, and innovation.
We will hear about
exactly.
research, but
so we complement each other.
That's right.
So what we do exactly is that in the college, we select the best projects and we send them to Dr. Chulu to incubate them.
So you
yes.
first look for the quality of the knowledge.
Exactly.
And after that, who will support it from the
exactly.
innovation space?
Exactly. So we look at the talented students and the ideas that we see as potential. There is a potential for them to be developed into a more market-oriented products. And then we ask them to compete in the idea competition.
Yes.
And they will be selected according to their merits based on the judgment of the Innovation Center judges. They will select those projects and then incubate them for some time.
Yes.
We try to support them as mentors as well. And the relationship between the Innovation Center and the colleges is that they ask us to mentor some of the of the ideas that are there. Yes.
Before I pass it to Dr. Kamran, I'd like to add one more thing. Yes, we're having a great relationship with students, all colleges, and they're from, we are observing a student from the college. Yes. Usually very good ideas. Yes. On top of that, we are right now encouraging professors to get a patent.
Yes, yes.
That's one of the big
technology transfer and
exactly commercialization and technology transfer. Yes. That's why before I pass it to Dr.
Dr. Karman and speak about the technology transfer and the research, I want to take the experience of Sultanate Oman. What is your experience in this area and the university? What is the connection you built already with the industry, or you still developing this relation and trying to make this gap smaller and smaller?
Okay. Thank you, Engineer Mohammed. Gentlemen, it's similar to our colleague here at their universities as well. We at the University of Technology and Applied Science by nature, we more focus on practical. However, we do also focus on innovation and technology as well as research. For our students, there are some mandatory courses actually for entrepreneurship. In order for them to graduate, they have to.
There is a mandatory course?
Yes, actually, in order to graduate, yes, it's a mandatory course. They have to go, at least they will be having a glance, an idea about how to be an entrepreneur. In addition to that, we do have also a department which is responsible about innovation. We do have competitions as well as our colleagues in their universities to identify the talented students with the brilliant ideas in order to, let's say, try to pass them later on to the concerned department, which is normally technology transfer offices, in order to commercialize that. We do have also MOUs with Hawaii, as the professor have already mentioned, and with also Cisco and other, Oracle as well, and other institutions. These type of MOUs will actually enhance the skills that may our students lack in terms of academia.
Yes.
And we'll be focusing on more in the professional side. We do have crash courses, we do have visitor speakers as well in this area. This is basically, to sum up, so it's almost the same, similar to it.
But based on this, you see a real output from these courses provided for students. Some of them change their minds and think to start their startups.
Yes, of course. We have already students who have they are owning their own companies. For example, we have one company which is, I can't recall actually the name itself, but it's about recycling tires. And it's also the students also joined a lot of competition, and they won very advanced, let's say, places there as well. So we do have our graduates, they have owning their own companies, and they are by their own entrepreneurs.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Doctor. For Dr. Karman, we speak about the skills, the qualification of the graduates. We speak about the entrepreneurs, and also Dr. Cholo said, and Dr. Muhammad said, we are also looking for professors. We are also looking for research and development. The research and development process in Ajman University help researchers to think about the applied science, think not only about publication. I know one of our problems in the academic system, we are looking for publication because this is the way that we got promoted and got the next degree. But converting our research into a real product, a real startup, this is something is somehow not in our mindset. So from your perspective and running this Department of Graduate Studies, do you think we are on the right way, or do we need to change somehow the way that we recognize our researchers?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Muhammad, first of all, for inviting us. I feel their mic is more powerful than our mic.
Actually, we'll try to ask them to.
No, it's okay.
Actually,
it's
this
okay.
is GITEX, so.
Yes, yeah.
But we need to make the mic more.
Yes, sure. So thanks a lot, first of all, for inviting us and giving us an opportunity to speak here. As you mentioned about developing our students in the university, there are 3 dimensions.
Yes.
And luckily we have the representation of all the 3 dimensions here.
Yes.
So in terms of research, Dr. Muhammad, my perception is, of course, there is always need for improvement. There is always more and more that can be done. There is always a process of continuous improvement. But what we have done is, I fully agree with you, research is more focused. Traditionally and even now, it's more focused on publications. Because this is how we are promoted, this is how we are recognized, this is how the university is recognized, the university is moving in ranking. Yes. In Ajman University, we are using a hybrid approach. We are focusing on publications, but at the same time, we are focusing on every aspect of research, whether it is practice-oriented research. So we have some colleges which are like engineering and information technology or health sciences or pharmacy, where practice-oriented research is very, very important because it's very different than humanities, where the research or the concept of the research are a little bit different. So practice-oriented research is something where we are focusing. And when the faculty is focusing on practice-oriented research, then naturally we engage our students in this dimension. So our students, as you rightly mentioned, right, some of them, they are focusing only on the industry because they want to be an engineer, they want to be a pharmacist, they want to be a dentist. At the same time, we have the students who we develop as a researcher, and they are future researcher. Mostly those students who are in the graduate programs, but even from our undergraduate programs, there are students who publish papers, who publish research. Recently, we launched research centers in the university, and every research center is engaged with the industry. So they have industrial partners, like if you see our website for the research center, you will see like they have industrial partners. We invite these industrial partners for seminar, so we have regular seminars. This is from the research point of view. Similar goes for the student from the academic point of view as well. So they come to the university, they share their problems, what they are facing in the industry, and we are then developing projects. Some of these projects are funded by the university, some of these projects are funded by the government, and some of these projects are also funded by the industry. Okay. Very recent, we have a very huge partnership with the Ajman Statistics Center, which is like a biggest government organization in the Emirate of Ajman. And believe me or not, they have lots and lots of data, but they don't have a very clear idea what to do with their data. How to convert this data into some useful piece of research. Yes. Like how you can advise government based on this data, what government need to do to further improve something. So these kind of initiatives which we have taken at the Ajman University.
Actually, most of people now say that data is the next oil and AI is the next electricity.
Yes.
So we need to take care of data and know how much valuable it is now.
And most of the people, whether in industry or in academia, they don't know the real power of data. Yes. Because if you ask me, then data is worth much, much more than like billions of dollars, billions of like manpower or infrastructure. Data is so important. So this is like what we are doing, but I fully agree with you, there is a gap, there is a huge gap, which we need to bridge between the academia and between academia and industry.
And I need to know from professors, and we can start with Dr. Muhammad, what is your recommendation to bridge this gap? What is your suggestion based that you are in the academic side, but also during this lifetime, you see a lot of challenges and also a lot of opportunities. So what you recommend to bridge this gap and to make it more better for the new generations?
Thank you, Engineer Muhammad, and thank you, Professor Kamran, for bringing the research aspect into the discussion. I think the COVID has been an accelerator in this direction. Yes. Because people have seen, without research, we would have taken, the COVID would have taken more than 10 years for us to come out of it. But due to the collaboration between industry and academia, people were able, and researchers as well, people were able to develop solutions in a very timely manner.
Actually, I read a paper that universities and countries who were doing a great research with universities succeeded to manufacture the vaccines faster than other countries.
Exactly. And that's the lesson from this pandemic, is that we need to work together. Yes. Without the two parties, academic researchers and industry, I don't think we can break this barrier in a very short time. That's why I think, based on the experience of COVID, now everybody is convinced that we need to work together. And it's very easy. At Ajman University, actually, we have started moving in these directions since 1917. We have put a very clear strategic plan of breaking the barrier with the industry, going towards research. Research is becoming a very important component in our strategic objectives. And also, we are investing a lot in innovation. So in these three dimensions are actually working together very well. The only dimension that we need to work on is the external industrial organizations to come on board with us. And I think that if we are able to do that, I think the future is very bright.
This is our responsibility in the initiative,
Exactly.
and this is why we announced it and launched this initiative. We are
Exactly.
working closer with all universities who are partnering with us to accelerate this process.
Exactly.
Actually, because we are working in this initiative since long time ago, and after COVID, we found it is very important to launch it to the public. Yes, we need to know that industry have a different language, and they look for the RIO. They need, if they are going to invest money, effort, resources, they need to see fast RIO. And this is difficult to be achieved in universities. But I think after the COVID, all of us understand the value and the long-term investment all of us should do. I want to get back to Dr. Mulham. We speak a lot about industry, academia, but also government have a big role. I understand that University of Fujairah is supported by government. And from this point of view, what is the role of government to support academia to accelerate the cooperation with industry? What are the challenges that government come to the academia and say that we face this kind of challenges? How you can help us and how we can find the solutions for these challenges?
Thank you, Engineer Mohammed. I just wanted to add something to what Professor Mohammed has said regarding COVID-19. If we imagine COVID-19 happening in the 80s of last century and the effect of that on research, then we will see that it would have been more exaggerated than it is now. The reason why it is a positive response for research is because technology is available fast enough to deliver the results for the pandemic challenge, which brings us to the challenges for the local government and being able to, for the university to respond. Economies are now judged by startup companies. You can judge a country by knowing how many startups have started in that country. Universities are now wooed or forced into the direction of creating incubators for their students to be able to prepare them for industry. As a state university, we are a government state university. We are supported by many factions of Fujairah government, and we try to communicate with them on daily basis, if you like, to respond to some of their needs and reflect that to the projects of our students. At the same time, we flip the students to have a minimum of 100 voluntary hours to work with government from the university before they graduate. So every year, 25 hours of voluntary work, and they need to be related to their area of expertise with government departments. At the same time, we keep very strong allies with our alumni who are working in Fujairah government themselves to be able to create the synergy between government and the university. We respond to the government requirements by providing their tailor-made, if you like, students according to their needs, whether it's in banking or whether it's in police or whether it's in army or telecommunication or security. And at the same time, provide internship programs for the students in government to be able to orient them to the government atmosphere before they graduate. As we're still lacking on having a fully fledged research program in interaction with the government, mainly because industry in Fujairah is limited to certain areas of activities. However, we are, as academicians, our currency is our research. And the more publications are, and the strategic program of each individual needs to be in the direction of serving the local government. So we orient our faculty to be able to interact with their peers in government to be able to create the solutions for their departments. whether again in the marina, in the port, or in the airport, or in the natural resources department, or even other universities available in Fujairah, which we are interacting with on the research basis. It's a combination of things that we have to do, and we have to do very quickly and swiftly to prepare our graduates to serve the community better. Otherwise, we're going to have to revert to graduates from outside who are more prepared for that kind of challenge.
As I know from you, Dr. Ayman, that University of
Technology and Applied Sciences.
And the Applied Science is the biggest university in Sultanate Oman.
Yeah, in terms of number of students.
You have a big responsibility.
Yes, we do.
To support the government and solve some of the problems of the government. And we see that after the COVID-19, the digital transformation becomes a mandatory.
Yes.
So what is your responsibility now in the university? And did you receive a specific request and responsibilities from the government to support the digital transformation movement for Sultanate Oman?
As a beginning, as all of the university, we have transferred to online-based teaching during COVID-19. However, now since that the things have been relaxed, we have a combination of mixed or hybrid, let's say, mean of teaching. We have the online for some courses, and we do have the physical attendance or on-campus, let's say, teaching. With regards to your question, actually, we are working in line with the government itself, but until now we didn't receive a specific project to help in that area. However, we believe that as a part of the nation and in line with the Oman Vision 2040, which is going towards technology and innovation, we have the responsibility to develop our faculty, students, even employees, even the admin employees, to meet those type of, let's say, goals. Yes.
For Dr. Sulu, based on what you achieved in the entrepreneurship center based on what you achieved in the research center in Ajman University, did you see some of the outputs already solved a real problem inside the United Arab Emirates? There is some potential startups. Do you have some good examples for potential startups that cope with the goals of the United Arab Emirates?
Yes, we have like every year we have one or two success stories, yes, which translate like reality, like with their own invention or innovations. Okay. One example was Blue PCB. The other one, he was a student of Ajman University, and then he saw this opportunity. Everything they order to build Arduino, and then they're getting from China, and it takes a long time.
Yes.
So he started this business for a prototype, building prototype, and then he become very successful, and he getting a fund from Mohammed bin Rashid Innovation Fund, like 4 million dirham.
Yeah, that's great.
And he's afraid to getting bigger. And then that was the one idea, and another successful idea was Korean drama become very popular among young female generation in Middle East. Yes. And then one guy come up, and then I would like to open Korean street food restaurant. So I said, fine. And then he actually, he was a chef. So it makes sense. So if we help to build an interface and then all this algorithm to optimize his ordering and working process, and yes, he did it. And then it became very successful, and then pandemic hit him. And then what happened? So he developed another software to group this housewife of like each nationalities.
Yes.
So for example, Japanese housewife, Korean housewife, and Chinese housewife. And they, as a group, they are ordering street food, like huge amount. So I think I think he's the only one who become more successful during pandemic. So that was the successful story.
This is a great success story that we are speaking about the ICT and digital economy and how this kind of solutions solve challenging and big problems, and how we always say that ICT is enabler. It is not a product in itself, but it is enabler to many challenges. I think Dr. Ayman also have some success stories to share with us. Yes.
Actually, I do have, let's say, a comment
Yes.
rather than this one. I'll just, sorry to bring you back to a previous question that you have already raised.
Yes.
In order to, how to bridge the gap between academia and the industry itself. I know that most of us, or most of the universities, will be having like what do you call it, reviewing the programs and the curriculum in line with the industry itself. Yes. They might have some visitors from industries or managers come and give lecturers. I would like to have an insight about what other means the universities, as different experiences that you are having there, that you use in order to mitigate that such gap. Sorry, I'm asking on behalf of you.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
This brings to my mind something really. I don't know, in Southern Oman, definitely they have something like what we have now. In the university, every program we have what's called an industrial board, which is part of the curriculum. And those people must be from industry. And they come and meet every year, maybe twice a year, just to discuss and exchange ideas between the university and the industry, and how our programs can be aligned to the industry requirements. And that has been very, very helpful, to be honest, because I attended one of them just 3 weeks back.
Yes.
And I can see the ideas. They are telling the academicians that we think that the software you are teaching is a little bit old. Now you need to move to something else.
Yes.
And that's very important,
Yes.
because the graduates should be aligned with what is required.
That's
And the
right.
curriculum will be updated.
Yes.
And this is something that we can start with in bridging the gap between the two. And
Updating the curriculum
Exactly.
and know what is needed.
Exactly.
And this is actually the last question I want all of you to share your thoughts about. What is, I need only one answer from each one. What is your recommendation to accelerate bridging the gap between industry and academia from academia perspective? I need recommendation from each one. We can start, yes, okay.
We do the same practice actually back home, yani. But the thing is, we still have that gap. We are trying to mitigate. We would like to
It will
think
take
in
some time,
individual.
but we should include them more and more.
We do.
And
We did this.
Actually,
Yeah.
from my experience with industry, they don't have all of this time. When you ask them to engage more, you will find it somehow difficult to get them and to get people from them, because actually they are busy with selling, busy with
Yeah.
doing their own job.
So coming to that, we do, I just want to emphasize that all of us did this.
Yes.
They incorporate, they hear from the industry, but the gap is always there. So as a recommendation, I believe that we as an academia need to come into a common ground, share the same interests. They have to have something in it. They are not going to do it for free. Okay. This is my recommendation.
Share. Okay, Dr. Karman.
I think I share the similar kind of concept. There should be some framework, and that framework may be imposed by the government or from the ministry on the universities and the academia. They need to talk to each other, and we are talking with each other, but the result is not great.
There is no framework that we can work together to get the results.
To get the results,
Yes, we meet, we speak, but by the end of the day, there is
Yes.
not a real structure that make output from this effort.
True.
This is what you are saying.
True, this is
Yes.
exactly.
Okay.
I think I have already said what I think we should do, which is we have to have some sort of a real partnership. Yani there must be an objective for both academia and industry to develop the relationship. Otherwise, it will not develop.
Okay.
How do we do that? With policies from government, with commitment from companies, especially big ones, And I know that that is part of their service,
Yes.
that they need to be part of the developing of new generations.
Yes.
And this is very important, not only generations, but also solutions for the problems locally. And that is something that we need to work out together, inshallah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would like to give an example like how government and academia work together. The great example is Ajman X. Ajman X is accelerator in Ajman government, led by Sheikh Noura. And usually they collect like 10 to 15 government decision maker, and we go there and then we do special lectures. I did one like digital design and fabrication about 3D printer, how fast you know compared to mass production generation, how design process is changing. And the next day, the decision maker of Ajman municipality came and asked how we are going to change this street light with this technology. You know, that kind of here UAE it's not like Samsung or other Korean university, but because that country industry is the fastest, right? And universities follow. Here here it's a neck and neck basically. So just meeting from time to time. Just don't pretend you are separate and you are the independent entity. It's not. To live together, to be successful, you have to talk to each other. You have to meet more often. Thank you.
We need Dr. Mulhim. We need to know your last comment and one suggestion to accelerate this cooperation.
My comment on the lack of framework is the void in industry that we have here. My colleague has just mentioned Korea, and Korea is a huge industrial country, and that therefore the need for innovation and support of universities to industry is required, and therefore the progress is rapid there. We are still a consumer society, the Middle East I'm talking about, and the Middle East will bridge that gap when industry is strong enough to be able to require innovations from universities. My loyalty is to my students, not to industry, and not to government, to be honest with you. However, so I need to create an opportunity for my students to be trained in technical skills and research by an internationally recognized industrial partner. Somebody who is going to be able to give them the skill and the knowledge that is internationally, will give them the opportunity to work and provide their chance for them to interact internationally, and hence the desire to be able to enter relationships and MOUs with so many partners like Huawei and Cisco, like universities internationally, and research centers. PhD programs that are based on industrial support, international industrial support to PhD students locally, and be able to then create that kind of cutting edge knowledge that is required for the students. That's my suggestion.
To conclude, thank you for all of your thoughts, and based on the reality that I'm sure that all professors are loyal to their students, but to achieve this reality, you should help to achieve the industry academia. Because if you help students to get good job opportunity in the industry, to be qualified for the market, they will be happy and they will feel that their universities help them. And by the way, this is why we started the Government Industry Academia initiative, to develop the framework, to help all the partners to work in the same framework and to achieve their goals. We try to be the catalyst. I know we have a three-part in the equation. We have government, we have academia, we have industry, and each one speaks his own language. And each one has his own targets and goals. But if we play our right goal as a catalyst, we can match goals and make them more benefit for each partner to achieve what they are looking for. Thank you very much, and we are so happy to have you in our last session, and see you inshallah in the next year. And I hope to have Ajman University as partner in our industry academia initiative, inshallah. We can continue discussion. Thank you very much.